Hi everyone, Lori here. I don't do a lot of product reviews, but this one I thought we should because my husband and a few other photographer friends that make videos and they do things professionally, they said I need a gimbal. So I kept saying, well, what's a gimbal? I don't need that. Sure enough, I need a gimbal. So whenever I was walking or not running, but doing things fast or turning and so forth, everything was herky jerky and looked terrible in my filming from the camera. And when I say my camera, I'm using the Canon M50. Yes, we're still using that, and I know they have updated ones, but it's still an affordable, wonderful camera. And the links are down below. The links for this gimbal and for the camera are down below. And this is affordable, probably one of the most affordable gimbals out there. And it does what it's supposed to do. What I like is it's light, it's lightweight. You put the camera on, I can do this and switch hands like this, and it works out. I can switch like that. And for certain shots, somebody's running or walking or I'm going over things, I try to, as they call the duck walk, and I try to do that and I try to both hands on this to keep it more steady. So this is a great affordable option for those of you who want to buy a gimbal but don't want to spend three, four, $500 on one. I know they've made a Crane M3, which has a little bit more features, a digital display here in front. But just to get started and you want stabilization, this is the gimbal for you. And I'm trying to keep this real simple because I don't know a lot about it. My husband actually is much more tech savvy and he understands how to set this up, how to balance it. And so now we're going to do a balancing portion of the gimbal, how you balance it, and then how you put the camera on.
Hey everyone, I'm going to show you how to balance this Crane M2S that we have here. This is the gimbal that Lori's talking about in her video, and I'm going to show you how to balance it. It's actually really super simple to balance. I've actually balanced two parts of it already, but every time that you take your camera off to be able to get your battery out or get your S card out, you're going to have to take this small piece off. And so you may have to rebalance it each time you put it back on. But it's super simple to do. The first time I did it, I was a little bit intimidated by doing it, but it's actually really easy to do. So what you do is you start by having everything locked in place so the gimbal can't move. That one locked, I'm sorry. Okay, everything's locked in place now. So right now the gimbal can't move. So you want that all locked in place to start with. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put this little thing here that's going to go on the gimbal onto the bottom of your camera. And you should have a pretty good idea where about it's going to need to be balanced. But I'll show you what I mean as soon as I get it on, how each time you're going to have to balance it and what you're going to have to do to balance it. So that's simply going to slide onto here. You're going to unlock this one. Okay, this is unlocked. You're going to slide, oh, make a fool out of me here. Okay, now that's going to sit on there, but this is all locked right now. That's why it's sitting in there the way that it should. When I turn this off, or when I unlock this, you're going to see where it's going to move to. Another little tip that you want to do if you're using the Canon M50 like we are is that you want to open your screen first before you put it on here, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to open that screen up. It's going to hit this back part of it. So that's something I learned the first time that I did it. I'm going to try to show you where each one of these little parts are on the gimbal as well, where you're going to unlock it. So up here, you're going to unlock the first one. That's going to keep it going this way and this way. So I had already adjusted that. It's a real simple movement up here, back and forth to adjust that. This is the one that's going to change every time. I'm also going to unlock the front right now. Right here's the front. Okay, this is the one when I unlock this, you're going to see the camera move, and this is the one you're going to have to adjust. So you see what happened? You see my camera went way down like that? So what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to loosen this, and I'm going to bring the camera, because it's going that way. So I know the camera needs to come this way. So I'm just going to bring it this way a little bit. And now, okay, now it looks like it's, well, maybe just a little bit further yet. There we go. And then I'm going to tighten this back up here. Now these are all loose so that it can easily move around. And that's when, once you turn this on, you can easily move this around. Oops, let me bring this around this way for you. I can bring it back to here. Now what you're going to see is happen is that camera's going to stay steady as I move it around. And Lori's got quite a few different examples of the differences of how it does. It really makes a huge difference because if you're running with one of these, it literally, with your camera, it's going to be so jerky. You're even walking fast with it or walking. With this here gimbal, it's going to stabilize it for you. It's really just a real simple process of here and here is all you're really going to need to do to stabilize it. It's pretty easy to stabilize. I was a little intimidated at first to stabilize it, but it's very easy to do. Once you've done it once, you're easily going to be able to do it every time. So, hey, I'm going to hand it back over to Lori now.
That's how you balance it and put the camera on. At this point, I want to say that upgrading, learn how to use something like this first. Learn that it works for you. And you don't be spending thousands of dollars unless you're rich. If you're rich, just buy the most expensive thing and figure it out. I say buy the most affordable, usable product out there, which is the Crane MS2. And I really enjoy it. It's lightweight, it's durable, and it works great with my Canon M50 camera. And now I will be upgrading these at some point this year, maybe if I can. Wait till next year. But this is a great alternative, and I'm going to show you some different options. So look at some of these before and after, and I'll get back to you soon. As you can see, everyone, we're in our forest, the woods behind our home, and this is without the gimbal. This is with the camera and my hands. I'm trying to be steady, but as you see, it's just not working. And frustrating. And now all of a sudden, here's with the gimbal. It actually looks like you're floating through the forest. It's a night and day difference, and it's fun when you see that it brings it to life and more normal. It's actually fun then. And we're about to go in the front of our property. This is going down the driveway with the camera, and I'm doing my very best to hold it steady and walk as gently as possible, but it's still herky-jerky. It's just not a great video. And coming up now will be the gimbal version, and you can see the difference. There's a huge difference with this wonderful little device. As you see, it's smooth. It almost looks like you're floating down the driveway. And it's fun. When you see good results with an affordable product, it makes you happy. It makes you want to use it much more. So this is wonderful. And as you see, this is just so much better with the gimbal. And this next one, I am actually running with the camera. And when you run with the camera, it bounces all over the place. It's a little silly, little awkward, but I wanted to show you the difference. And now I am using the camera on this one. Here's the gimbal, nice and smooth, and I'm running. Huge difference. Well, there you go. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to review this Crane MS2. And this gimbal is fantastic for beginners like me.